is rightly said, do it now. Sometimes later becomes never. With this beautiful thought, once again I welcome to your chemistry lab. Today I came up with another new demonstration. Today's demonstration will be about solubility. Yes, I am going to show you how to prepare a saturated solution and supersaturated solution. So if you are having any problem or confusion in understanding what is saturated solution and supersaturated solution, so this demonstration is for you. Okay, so let's start the demonstration for today. Now let me show you for today's demonstration what are the things I require. Okay, so watch the video till the end and learn how to prepare supersaturated and saturated solution. For today's demonstration, I require salt. This is table salt which we normally use for eating. I have used a china dish. I require beaker, distilled water, stirrer, and a spatula. This I will use here to keep the solution on the stand to make it clearly visible. So let's start today's demonstration. Let's start today's demonstration. First, I will add normal or take normal water into a beaker. Now, with the help of a spatula, I will add salt. You can see I am using spatula to add salt. First I will add little amount into this distilled water. Then with the help of a stirrer, I will stir the solution gradually. You can see that the crystal of the salt, it is gradually disappearing and dissolving in the solvent, which is water here. My dear student, this condition, when you see that the solute, which is salt here, if it get dissolved easily into the solvent, this is known as unsaturated solution. You can see clearly that no more salt is left here. The entire salt has completely dissolved. This is unsaturated. I will take more amount of salt and again I will add into the same solution and try to dissolve it once again. You see, with the help of a stirrer, I am trying to dissolve the salt or the solute in this given solvent once again. But wait, you see, this time it takes more time to get dissolved, and it takes more time to get dissolve the salt in that water. If you notice, now once again it is a clear solution, so which means that salt which I have added, it has completely dissolved into it, which means still the solution is unsaturated. I will repeat the process once again by adding little amount of salt again into the same solution, and then let's see what happens. I will start the solution once again. My dear student, just look at this. It is taking more time as I am adding more and more solute, which means salt, into this solvent, which is water here. Let us see whether it is dissolving or not. You will notice that the solution is becoming viscous, and you can easily see that it is taking more time for dissolving the salt. Once again, I will add more amount of salt to check that whether it is dissolving or not. So let's add. This time I have added more amount of salt into this same solution. Gradually I will stir it, and in order to see that whether the salt is getting dissolved or not, my dear students, you can see that gradually the color of this clear water is changing. Remember in the beginning when I added solute or the salt, the color of the solution was clear. But as I am adding more and more amount of salt, you can see the change in the color. This is because the solution is now changing or moving toward its saturation. You can see at the bottom, I am trying to show you that few crystal of the salt is yet to be dissolved. So once again, let me add few more amount of salt, and finally let's see what happens. Now this time I have added little more amount of salt, and again I am trying to dissolve this same salt into the solution. Let's stir it once again. Note it, you can see that the color this time is not transparent. Look at the change of the color as adding more and more amount of salt into it. My dear student, you will see that now no more salt is getting dissolved. You can see, I am trying to show you with the spatula, you can see that although I am stirring, but then also the solubility of this salt in this given solvent is decreasing. A time will come that if I continue to add more amount of salt, no more salt will be dissolved into this solvent. That is the condition known as saturated condition. So you can see here clearly that now no more salt is getting dissolved into this water or solvent. My dear student, this is called saturated solution. In saturated solution, the solvent, which is water here, now cannot dissolve any more amount of solute. Interestingly, you can see here clearly that the salt is still in an undissolved state. I am continuously stirring, but then also it is not dissolving. This condition is called saturated condition, where the solvent is in a state where no more solute can be dissolved. You can see clearly that at the bottom of this beaker, the salt has not dissolved. This solution is called saturated solution. So I hope by this time you understood what is saturated solution. Now let us move on to prepare supersaturated solution of the same solution. So for that I will use hot water. My dear student, now I will require hot water and I will increase the temperature of this same solution, and then again we will check that whether this salt getting dissolved or not. So let's move on. For that I require hot water. This is hot water. I have taken hot water instead of heating it directly to show the observation clearly. You can see this is the same saturated salt solution. I am trying to dipping it inside it. So I have dipped it inside, and then let's see that whether can I dissolve this left out salt or not. So let's try. Once again I will start stirring the same salt solution. My dear students, you can see that as the temperature of this solution is increasing, more and more amount of salt is getting dissolved. You see, more and more amount of salt is getting dissolved. So I'll continue to stir. Let the temperature increase gradually. I will continue to stir. I am stirring it. You can see now once again the salt which was left out in the saturated condition, they have started dissolving into it easily. I have not added any water into it, just to make out that what happens. how much salt is getting dissolved into it. My dear students, you can see gradually as the temperature of this saturated solution I am increasing, or as it is going more and more amount of salt is getting dissolved. But wait, do not expect that the entire salt will get dissolved, but let us see whether much more salt getting dissolved or not. You can see clearly that more amount of salt has already been dissolved or started dissolving as the temperature of this solution is going higher and higher. So I would like to take it out just to show you clearly that what happens. You can see that more amount of salt has already dissolved into it. I will put it again once again just to let the temperature increases. More the rise in temperature, more amount of salt will get dissolved. A time will come that no more salt will get dissolved with a further rise in temperature. You can see that already huge amount of salt already got dissolved into it. Now the temperature of this also has gone high enough. I have used boiling water just to show you, or the boiled water just to show you that how gradually the temperature of the solution increases and how gradually the salt is getting dissolved. You see, the more the temperature is rising, more amount of salt is getting dissolved. My dear student, this condition, when after heating also, if you see that no more salt is getting dissolved, such condition of the solution is known as supersaturated solution, or such type of solution is called supersaturated solution. So here you can see that no more salt is getting dissolved further, although there is increase in the temperature. This is what we call supersaturated solution. It is obvious that if I heat it directly into the Bunsen burner or into the flame, we expect little more amount of salt will get dissolved. But on heating also, if there is no more further dissolution of the salt, then you should understand that the salt solution has become supersaturated. I hope you understood through this demonstration that what is unsaturated, saturated and supersaturated solution. Hope you can see here clearly. I would just like to show you that how much farther salt has been dissolved, but you can see little amount of salt is still at the bottom, which is not getting dissolved. This is because now no more space inside the solvent molecules to hold on to the solute particles. So the solution has already crossed saturation. Now it is moving toward the supersaturated condition. I hope this video lecture was helpful to all of you to understand the concept of unsaturated, saturated and supersaturated solution. Unsaturated solution are those in which you can easily dissolve salt or solute. Saturated, in which at that temperature no more further solute can be dissolved, and supersaturated, which can be reached only after the saturation has been reached, that is If you heat a saturated solution and add further salt or try to dissolve the left out salt, it gets dissolved. Hope this video lecture was helpful for you to make you understand the concept of unsaturated, saturated and supersaturated solution. Thank you for watching this video. I would like to keep at the end here just to see clearly what has been the changes which has taken place. So you can rewind the video in order to check what are the changes which occur in this solution. Thank you once again for watching this video.